Good afternoon, everybody. If you're on your lunch, I'd love you to stick with us because we're really excited. We're going to be talking to Laura from Little Spark Media. She's here with us today. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Samantha. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And it's great to have you because I know we're going to be talking about Social Media Fest, but we're going to give some tips while we're here and give value. So if you are on your lunch, sit down there and join us, and feel free to comment if you have any questions. We have an expert here with us today. So Laura, tell us a little bit about yourself first for people who don't know you.
So my name is Laura Stapleton. I am the owner of Little Spark Media. It's a creative digital marketing agency based in Kilkenny. And what we like to do is represent your brand or business flawlessly on social media, through your website, through email marketing, whatever you need, digital marketing as a whole umbrella, as massive as you know, Sam. But we do our best to flawlessly show your brand online through creative content, getting into the strategies that you need to push forward, to really elevate your brand and like really speak to your audience and get those customers to come to you.
And it's funny you mentioned all the different things. Like there's so many different specialities. It's like I can't do what you do, for example, and then vice versa. We all have our different specialities. So, what is your favorite? What's your happy place? Like, where's your happy place? Is it the email marketing? Is it the video? Is it the reels? Like, where's your happy place?
It's where I started out, I suppose. It's always comes back to social media and creating content that aligns with our customers and then that really attracts their audience to them. So that's always been my passion, diving into new businesses, meeting customers, finding exactly what their needs are, what are they trying to do, who are they trying to attract, and kind of meeting that, using strategic content then to meet that. And I suppose the love comes from when you meet the client first and they're so excited about their business. And then like as a result, I'm so excited about their business, and creating that content that really marries into that. And then when they start seeing the results coming through, that's a really happy spot for me. That's, you know what I mean? That's telling me I'm doing my job right and that my customer is happy. And that's definitely where I like to lie.
I love that, actually. Do you know what? Because I agree with you. I love actually when we, and sometimes they love their business so much, which is great. Like nobody can ever be as passionate about their business as they are. But yet, when we see those results coming in, and sometimes when they're passionate about their business, this is one little thing to be aware of, people that are watching. Sometimes we're so stuck in our own business, we don't realize that maybe we might be on the wrong platform, for example, or maybe we're trying to attract a certain type of customer, but we don't even know who that customer is. Do you find that that's a common thing, that when you go to customers and you say, okay, who's your target client? They go, everybody.
Yeah, I was just about to say some businesses you meet and they say, everybody, we want everybody to use our product. Our product is so great. Everybody should have one in their home or their car, or whatever it might be. And it's kind of like, I suppose, diving into that with the customer and finding out exactly who should we should be targeting. So if the product is for children, it's probably we're not going to be aiming at children on social media. It's going to be the parents that we're going to be aiming at, the uncles, the aunties, the grannies. You know what I mean? Things like that. So really diving into who is actually your target market that you want to market to. The product might be for somebody, but who are you marketing to? That's the real question.
That's it. And actually, that I made that mistake with my first business, the First Period Gift Box. I thought I was targeting the young girls, but it was the moms and the dads who were, or the grandmothers or whatever, that were buying it. So yeah, it's all those little things. It's about having that client avatar. And then like when it comes to, I know for me, Instagram is not my speciality, for example, but you seem to be really savvy on the Instagram. So tell us a bit more about that and how you got so good at it.
Yeah, I suppose I kind of fell into it like most entrepreneurs. They kind of fall into the role that they find themselves in, and I've leaned into it and rolled with it over the years. But Instagram I absolutely love. I find that the community there is fantastic. I know a lot of people think that there's a dark side to social media, and there is at times. But with social media, with Instagram in particular, I do find that the community there is very positive. It's very much supportive, and especially after COVID and that wave of kind of support local, support small businesses, especially in Ireland, has really come to the forefront. And I just see a big wave of that. And I suppose that's why I love it so much. But I also think that it's just such a fantastic tool to use for your business. You know, it's literally, you're speaking directly to your audience. You know what I mean? With your traditional marketing, you're putting stuff in newspapers, you're putting stuff on radio, and you don't know who's hearing it. You don't know how many people are hearing it. But with this, you get a good direct two-way conversation going with your audience, which, you know what I mean, has never really happened in marketing before social media, because you can literally ask your audience, what do you think of this product? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Do you think this product is useful? And they can come straight back and tell you yes or no, or, you know what I mean, you can change your marketing strategy in a moment. But I suppose then as well, I find it incredibly easy to use and incredibly easy to kind of like put into your day-to-day. And that's why I suppose as well I love working with clients, because they mightn't have the time for it or mightn't have the interest in it, but know that it's really valuable for their audience or for their customers. So that's where, you know what I mean, I think I align then with the businesses that I work with.
And it's interesting as well, because a lot of people I noticed, especially when I was in Twitter land, you know, I noticed that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm like, are you on social media? Yeah, I'm on Instagram. And I'm like, but I think your clients actually, if you're B2B, especially if you're selling to business owners, you probably might need to be on LinkedIn as well. I mean, sometimes it's as well as Instagram, but a lot of people think they have to be everywhere, and you don't have to be everywhere. Have you anything to share about that, about, you know, people that feel like they have to be everywhere on social media?
Yeah, and that's such a great point that you're bringing up, because it is so important to know, again, comes back to who you're targeting, where are they hanging out? And that's where you need to be hanging out as well. So if it's LinkedIn or Instagram, and like that, it could be a double whammy with both for B2B companies. But you have to really figure out where you need to be. And if you spread yourself too thin, if you're trying to tap into all audiences and on all platforms, you can end up just burning out, and, you know what I mean, it's no good for anybody. And also, you might not be focusing in on the right channel. So I would always say to people, you know, figure out exactly where your audience are, the primary audience, because you could have an audience on everything, but the primary audience are the majority. And
the ones that are going to spend the money.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this is where are they hanging out? You know what I mean? And figure out that, and then figure out how you're going to talk to them, and then put it out there.
And for small business owners who are watching, I feel, I think you probably agree with me, you know, that people buy from people. And I think it's really important. And I know one of my clients, for example, would be in his 60s, and he's only starting to realize, okay, I have to actually put myself out there. I have to actually be on. So, and he's a lovely man, and he's learning. And it's really tough for some older people to embrace social media. But I do feel that people buy from people, and the business owner themselves can make a big difference. Do you think?
Oh, I think so, hugely. You know what I mean? That's why that saying is there, that people buy from people, because it's the truth of it. And a lot of the time when people come across others on social media, like a business on social media, if it's all graphics or if it's all, you know, products, the trust isn't there initially. You know what I mean? You might not necessarily want to buy from a business, because you feel like, oh, I don't know who's behind this. Is it real? And nowadays we're all worried about AI and scams and everything like that. So putting your face out there is so important. You can get away with it for a little while, being behind the camera, but you really need to put yourself out there. And I learned that myself, because I was telling my clients for years, you have to go behind the camera. And they were saying, but you don't do it, Laura. Why aren't you out? Okay, all right, fair enough. And here I am now. But you know what I mean? I wouldn't have been the most confident to put my face out there. But if you can just even compartmentalize it and say, it's for my business, I have to do this. This is my livelihood. If I want to make this anyway profitable, you know, and not an expensive hobby, I really need to put myself out there. And I've seen businesses go strength to strength, because the owner has put their face out there, or they have nominated somebody within the business to put their face out there, or the staff, or whatever it is. And that friendly face, you know what I mean, it just creates connection immediately when you land on a page.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, even, you know, we're going to give some tips for anyone. If there's any questions, please comment. We're going live on LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube all at the same time. We're using Restream. And even for Laura, this is your first time doing the Restream, isn't it? So, yes. You know, we're always learning all the time. Like, you know, Reels, we're going to be talking about Reels. You have been to Social Media Fest. You came as an attendee. So first of all, tell us about your experience when you came as an attendee to Social Media Fest.
It was just a fantastic event from start to finish. You know, I am actually working in the area. I know a little bit, I will say, because nobody ever knows anything. You know what I mean? There are no real experts out there. But the nuggets I took away from that day, the people that I met, you know what I mean, the vibe in the room, the whole lot, it was just fantastic. So like, from connection to stories to learning, it's all there at Social Media Fest. And that's why I'm so excited to be back again this year, because you can't get that online you need to be in the room, I do feel. And it's so important to meet others in your industry, or if you're looking to break into the industry, or if you're looking to meet experts in that industry, it's a really important day to be at.
And you were, and the funny thing is, like, you weren't speaking at the last one, but now this one on the 26th November, you are speaking. So tell us a little bit. And this is one thing I like to tell our audience as well. I'm always watching, like, who could be a really good fit for the next event and all of that kind of stuff. And we love when people support us. We love to actually reward people that have come to the event a few times as well. So you might notice a few others that maybe weren't speaking at the event last time, but they're speaking this time. I love giving people opportunities. And that's why I was watching you. You did a lovely reel afterwards, so helped us with user-generated content. So all those things that you did after the event, and staying in touch and building those relationships and nurturing them, now you're speaking at the conference. So it does work, building relationships and all of that stuff.
Oh, it definitely does. And I think that goes back to the kind of community then, I suppose, that's on Instagram as well. It's all about that, bigging it up. You know what I mean? I saw this event happening and I was saying, wow, how fantastic is this to have it in the south of Ireland, because not a lot of big events like this happen, you know, outside of Dublin or the major hubs. So like it's really important that we support these ones then when they do start.
I agree. Yeah. And it is hard, but a lot of people actually they've got it in their diaries for ages, and then they stay overnight the night before, and there's always a nice buzz around that, and then some stay the next night. So it's like their annual trip to Wexford now, and it's so close to Christmas as well, which is lovely. So usually when we do Social Media Fest on the 26th November in Wexford, the lights are up and it's a really Christmassy kind of vibe. I think the Christmas tree does actually be up as well. So you're going to talk about reels. So what are the audience going to look forward to? Like what do you think, if anyone is thinking of going, what are they going to learn from your talk?
Yeah, so myself and Sarah from Little Spark Media will be there on the day. Can't wait. We're so looking forward to it. Reels are our bread and butter. We absolutely love them. Video content is absolute king at the moment, as we all know. And how do we get it out there? You know what I mean? That's a real big question for people. So we aim to be there on the day to give you step by step and hopefully a few actionable tips as well that you can actually do there and then to get involved and kind of like put your toe in the water, as they say, if you're nervous, if you haven't started before, or if you are well into reels in your business, that maybe we can add on a little bit more, that we can kind of give a little bit of jam to that bread and butter, that you're going to make it a little bit tastier for your audience. So that's what we kind of aim to bring to it. And then as well, no gatekeeping, of course. You know what I mean? I really love when I go to a talk or go to a workshop or something like that, and whoever is speaking actually gives you the real information that you need. You know what I mean? Instead of saying, well, I'm just so fantastic, I was able to do this. So, you know what I mean? What I hope to give the people that are there on the day is actually a genuine insight into what we do, how we do it. And off you go then, you know what I mean? If you need any questions after the fact, our DMs are always open on Little Spark Media.
And even afterwards, you see that, folks, we don't have a VIP table at the top where like all the speakers are. The speakers are in the audience. They're mixing, they're having coffee. We have our lunch together. So even the night before, all the speakers are there and we all get to know each other. So it's really great. Well, it's going to be great for you and your profile, but also for the people who are attending. And if you do have any questions, like the whole thing is that openness, willing to share. Like we help each other. There's so much business going around. Like there's enough business for everybody. And I think, you know, there are certain skill sets that you might have that I might be able to refer clients to you and vice versa. So it's all about gathering those good people around you that can support you and share what it is you're doing as well. Because like the reason you mentioned, even if people are going to learn how to do reels on the day, that could be user generated content for us as well for the next event. You know,
that's it. You know what I mean? And I just love the idea of somebody leaving the event and saying, oh my God, I did that. Like that's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about putting myself out there now, or I don't have to, you know what I mean? I've done it. I've taken the first step. Now everything after that is I'm flying through it. You know what I mean? So that's what I hope people will leave, and that they'll get that sense of connection, and then as well they'll get that sense of I can actually do this.
Yeah, and you know, I even remember, you know, even people like us that work in social media, sometimes we don't get time to do our own social media. We were talking about that earlier. And I remember I had reached out to you as well, like, asking about, maybe the Instagram for social media. So, I mean, this is about what you're doing is everything you're doing is correct. You're showing yourself as the go-to person for Instagram Reels. Are there any other services that you like to mention that people might not know that you do?
Yeah, and like you've just mentioned it, I suppose we've kind of fallen into this one as well, but event content, or you know what I mean, event coverage, I should say, as well. We used to do it for our clients that are our social media management clients, but after a while people started asking, do you do it just the events? You know what I mean? There might be a big organization and need somebody to come and create kind of a buzz around it. So we do that now as well, and that's really taken off this year. So that's something I'd really love to even put out there to people, that if you do have an event coming up, we can tailor it to whatever way you need. Have it the buzz beforehand on your social profiles, have the buzz during it, so that we're giving those people at home FOMO, so that they know to buy a ticket for the next time, and or whatever it might be. And then afterwards we'll have those wrap up reels, and then the continuous evergreen content that you can start using on your social media after the fact. So we can give you the whole bank of content from the day that can be used for whatever you need afterwards.
Excellent. And it is a big, I think with AI, I think in-person events are going to rise now. I think because people actually do want to build that trust and meet the person in person face to face. So if there are no questions, folks, if there are no questions, that's fine. We can always check afterwards in the comment section. But give me one tip, one takeaway for today that you feel, okay, Halloween's coming up, for example. So have you any tip that you think someone watching who has a business could implement today?
Yeah, so with Halloween coming up, I suppose as a marketer, you're nearly the other side of Christmas in your head.
I know. I got something for February. I've got a slot book for February. Yeah.
But one thing for, I suppose, Halloween, and another thing for just after Halloween would be the ghost trend. Always a good one on social media, on Instagram and on TikTok, where you just have a sheet, take a few pictures around the office, a bit of fun. And for those people that are a bit shy, it's ideal because you can actually cover your whole face and body with a sheet. So it's ideal for that. The ghost trend, look it up if you haven't heard of it before. Or another one that's coming as well, and it comes every single year in a different style, but it's the same kind of format. It's the Mariah Carey.
Christmas. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So the 1st of November, Mariah Carey was going to release a reel like she does every year, where she's in Halloween mode, and then we hear the Mariah
love.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I'd scare away, I'd say, all the animals outside the window if I tried. But yeah, so we hear Mariah's call, we'll say, into Christmas, and you know what I mean, into that transition, then it's all Christmas. So you could do that very easily in your business by using that audio when it does become available on that day. Have your Halloween set up in your shop, whatever it might be. You might have something on the window or whatever, and then literally, swing around the camera, and now you have all your Christmas stuff, or it's you in a Santa hat or whatever it might be. But that reel is always trending every single year, and it's a really easy one to do. You don't have to get in front of the camera either if you don't want it. You could just use literally your shop going from Halloween to Christmas, the office going from Halloween to Christmas, whatever it might be. It could be just moving a little pumpkin away and putting a Christmas hat on your desk. You know what I mean? Something really simple like that. But video is absolute king, and if you're not on it already, you really need to get on it.
Yeah. Actually, I do every 31st of October at midnight. All my Twitter followers are like waiting, because I do it every year. I just change my picture to me with a Santa hat. Yeah. And everyone's like, it's too early. No. It always gets loads of engagement, but I'll say, okay, I'm going to do something at midnight. Does anyone remember what it is? And so then you start the conversation going, and then midnight on the dot, I just switch it and I go, yay, it's about time. And then everyone's like, no. So it's it kind of just makes me stand out from the others, and I don't know what it's going to be like this year on Twitter, because Twitter is X now. So we'll see. But they were brilliant tips, and really, really simple, great tips. So well done, Laura, and thank you so much. And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
You can find me here on LinkedIn, Laura Stapleton, or Little Spark Media, and the same on all the other platforms. You can find us at Little Spark Media.
Little Spark Media, everybody. Okay. So thank you. And we look forward to seeing you at Social Media Fest. So if you want to get your tickets, folks, we have virtual tickets, We also have in-person tickets. So their in-person tickets always go faster. Okay. So if you want to come along, there's lunch included in the price. It's always a great day. As Laura said, like she came as an attendee herself and we didn't even know each other then either. And, you know, so it really is a great place to build a nice, strong community around you of like-minded people who want to help each other. But the amount of stuff you're going to learn is really valuable. So do come along. 26th November, Wexford, socialmediafest.ie. Get your tickets today.